This is my club. Fucking love this club. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Golden Gooner TV with me, Shannon. Obviously guys, we're still riding off the high of the last victory against Burnley, and we look forward to the Champions League game tomorrow evening against FC Porto in Portugal. Guys, before we get started on this video, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and please do share your comments on the video. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below and if you'd make any changes to the team. So guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I'm going to start with some team news, and I haven't had any official news in terms of Mikel Arteta and his press conference, because that's obviously happening later this evening. But I did see a video on YouTube where I saw that Thomas Partey and Fabio Vieira were back in training. So look, I don't know if that just means they're back with the group or if it means they're in contention for tomorrow's game. Obviously, I don't expect either of them to start, because I think that would just be kind of silly. You know, we haven't seen them for like at least a couple months. So to rush them back into the starting 11 when there's no real need for that, I just don't see Arteta doing that. But I do like the fact that we now have options off the bench and a stronger squad in terms of depth. So yeah guys, those are the two major changes that I've seen. I think we're still missing Jesus, Tomiyasu, Timber, and Tomiyasu, Jesus, Zinchenko, and Timber. Yes, I think we're still missing those four players. Other than that, I think we've got a full squad, and I think we're definitely in a good moment now for the Porto game tomorrow. I don't think that we will have any fresh injury news, because you know there was no one that went off injured against Burnley. So yes guys, in terms of the team news, that's all we have so far. And then I'm going to go straight into my next point, which is, do I rotate or do I make any changes for the game? And look, you always, it's weird, like you're in such a good run, so you're tempted to not change anything, but at the same time you're like, you know, it's Champions League, different opposition, different style, you know, do you maybe make some changes? And what I've been seeing a lot online is actually the changes where people say bring in Jorginho. Well, obviously that means, in my opinion, you probably drop one of three players. You either drop Havertz, you either drop Trossard, or you drop Martinelli. And look, I'm in the opinion, and I'm going to probably think about this for a second. Excuse me. I don't know if I change anything. I think we've been strong in our last couple of games, including the Liverpool game. Look, in that game, Jorginho did start, and that's probably our most convincing win, you know, in the sense of, not necessarily the scoreline, but, you know, looking at who we played, in relation to who we played. So, maybe you bring Jorginho in, but I would leave it the same. I don't think that Porto are on the same level as Liverpool, so I don't know if that requires us to make that change for Jorginho. Would I be surprised if Arteta did that? No, because it does make sense for him to do that. So, other than that, I don't think you make any changes. I don't think you would rotate Raya for this at all. I don't think Saka comes out. Obviously, Odegaard, Rice as automatic starters, and the back four probably picks itself, because, you know, in terms of availability, we're still missing out three fullbacks, which is crazy. You know, we still without three defenders. We only have a back four. Well, then obviously you got Cedric and then some of the academy players. But yeah, so in my opinion, guys, no changes for me tomorrow in terms of the starting 11. But I would like to see VIERA getting some minutes tomorrow, Partey hopefully, depending on the scoreline, Smith Rowe too, just so that we can have the team fresh for the next upcoming games. Because, you know, yes, we have 4 league games spaced out quite nicely, but we do then have the second leg for Porto mixed in with all of that. So I would like to keep the squad as fresh as I possibly can on this run until the City game. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments below, would you make any changes? Do you think Jorginho deserves a start, you know, into this type of big game, or do you think Havertz and Trossard, we should keep that link up going and just continue with that? So yes guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. So obviously guys, you know, this is the first leg of a round of 16. I almost say quarterfinal, I'm not get ahead of myself. But first leg of a round of 16 in the Champions League for many years for Arsenal. And obviously none of these players were part of that side, you know, obviously when we were last in the Champions League. So the pressure I don't really think is on them, but at the same time I think it is, because, you know, people are looking at how good we are at the moment, and Porto, the team to knock Arsenal out. If it is the case, you know, there will be questions asked of the team and Mikel Arteta. But I do think that we can get a win tomorrow. I think that we can go there and dominate. You know, obviously Porto and their fans will be up for each other. The stadio, the ground will be pumping. You know, it'll be a tough game. I don't think it'll be as easy a game as we think. But I'm hoping that we can kind of get the space that we've been getting in the Champions League in terms of how opposition teams set up against us. And if that's the case, I expect us to start fast. And then I think we can get an early goal. I think an early goal in this game will be very important, especially to silence their crowd. And I think we just need to have our cool heads and just, you know, realize that nothing is won or lost in this first leg either. But a lot can go, it can go a long way to getting you through to the quarterfinal. So, yes, guys, I do think this game is very important. Especially because, you know, you've been winning 5 games in a row now. You know, you don't want to lose this game and then, you know, have to start all over again. I think another win just gives the team more confidence that, look, you're doing it in 2 competitions. So, in my opinion, this game is very, very important for many reasons. Like I said, not just for the Champions League, but to continue this run that we're on. And, yeah, like, I think we've got a lot that can hurt Porto. I think if we're not up to our standards, Porto can hurt us, so we have to be very wary. But defensively this season we've looked very rock solid, especially in the Champions League, not conceding that many goals. So if Arsenal show up and do what I expect them to do tomorrow, I can see us walking away with a clean sheet, maybe a 2-0, maybe even a 3-1 without getting a clean sheet. But I do think there are goals for us in this game. I just think it will depend a lot on how we start the game. I think first 15-20 minutes will be quite important. If you can get a goal then, like I said, I think that really quiets down their fans, but also has to force them to kind of have to come out of their shell or attack us more, which then leaves more spaces in behind for us on the counter-attack. And I think we've seen this season that Arsenal, in terms of transition from getting the ball from defense to midfield to attack, are one of the best this season, probably one of the best in Europe. And, you know, in terms of Saka and Martinelli on the counter-attack with Odegaard in the midfield, I think we've got a good opportunity if we then get an early goal. So, yes, guys, let me know, do you think that it's important for Arsenal to go out tomorrow and really make a statement to try and kill the tie off in the first leg? Or do you think we need to be more, how do I say it, meticulous and, you know, just look to come out of there, how do I say it, without any injuries, without any, how do I say it, bad vibes out of the game, like, you know, in terms of injuries or loss or, you know, a draw? So can it be just a clean, even if it's a 1-0 win, you'll be happy to take it back to the Emirates and then, you know, put them to the sword in the return leg? Or do you want Arsenal to go out there and just completely put Porto to the sword tomorrow in Portugal? So let me know, guys, what your score predictions are. Let me know how you would approach this game if you were Mikel Arteta and the boys, and yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. And then, guys, obviously there's a lot of talk about the Champions League this season, how far Arsenal can go, are we one of the favourites, you know, and that depends who you ask. You know, if you're speaking to rival fans, they say there's no way. If you speak to any Arsenal fan, they say yes, it's possible. With me, and I've been saying it all season, if we get through the round of 16, which I expect us to, I'll be very disappointed, really, I would be if we didn't win this tie. I think it then goes into who join the quarterfinal, you know. I'm gonna be that guy, guys. If you give me a choice between like a Dortmund or PSV or like one of the lesser teams, I would take it, no disrespect to them, but I think that we are superior to most teams that are like not on the Madrid, Man City, Bayern, Munich level. I would draw them, but again, it's Champions League football, so you never really know. I'm not here to disrespect anyone, and I think everybody's earned their place. But then, look, if Arsenal end up in a semi-final, I think then you have to then start to dream. But from the quarterfinals, also depends on luck of the draw. I always say winning the Champions League, for me, is an impressive feat, but not as impressive, in my opinion, as winning the league. Because the Champions League, you could get an easy draw. Like, you know, for example, no offense, Arsenal could draw all the lesser teams now until the final and play a lesser team in the final and win it, and then, you know, it's not necessarily as impressive as opposed to the season where Madrid won it and they beat PSG, Man City, Chelsea, and they beat Liverpool in the final. When you look at that Champions League run, that probably for me goes on as one of the greatest, if not the greatest Champions League win, or in terms of how they had to get there, how they had to navigate that way. So like I said, it really depends a lot on the luck of the draw. And look, I'm not wanting to speak into omens and say, oh, you know, this happened this many times, whatever, but the finals at Wembley, guys. Arteta's played 12 games at Wembley, lost and won 12 as a manager and as a player. So if we can get ourselves in the final, I'll back us any day. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll never not back my team. You know, but again, like I said, get us into the quarterfinals. Let me see who we draw, and then, like I said, if you get to the semi-final, I mean, it's 3 games and then you're champions. You know, 3 wins, and then you're champions after that. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think. If you think it would be possible for Arsenal to win the Champions League this season, or do you think we should maybe just, you know, give it our best shot, see how far we get, and be okay with how far we get? Or do you think the main thing for Arsenal would be to prioritize winning the league and, you know, giving the Champions League maybe another season or two before we aim? Or do you think, you know what is there to lose? Go for both. You know, I mean, if you lose out on the league title by 2 points and you lose the Champions League final, it's gonna hurt. Don't get me wrong, it's gonna really hurt. But it's gonna show a lot of progression and gonna give the fans. I think that the team and the players and the staff and everyone involved at Arsenal a lot more confidence going into the future, as opposed to maybe losing the league by 15 points and then getting knocked out this week. I mean, in terms of this leg, this tie against Porto. You know, so. Let me know, guys, you think Arsenal can make it all the way to Wembley and lift that trophy? Or is it just another pipe dream and Arsenal fans are getting too ahead of ourselves? So I would love to hear all your thoughts in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think of the team news, if you make any changes. Let me know what your score predictions are in the comment section. And also, how far you think Arsenal realistically can go in this. Okay, guys, and don't forget to leave your likes, comments, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications. We'll be having a lot more content dropping very soon, more frequently than what I have been. And yes,